memorable one for Weymouth. Their goalkeeper Jason Matthews will probably tell his grandchildren in years to come about the day he scored the winner at Southport. Eat your heart out, Paul Robinson. And it looked for all the world as if the Terrors were going to make it 3 wins on the trot when they took on Woking at the Wessex Stadium on Tuesday night. Rafael Nade gave them an early lead, and when the impressive Stuart Bevan helped to set up a second for Simon Weatherston, it should have been game over. Sadly for Weymouth, it all fell apart after the break. Some lacklustre defending allowed Tom Hutchinson to pull a goal back for Woking. Good sides tend to learn from their mistakes, but this particular lesson seemed to be lost on Weymouth. They were caught out in very similar circumstances a quarter of an hour later. This time Craig McAllister was the beneficiary. Woking completed their comeback with a stunning free kick from Giuseppe Sol. Weymouth could still make the playoffs, but not if they surrender points as easily as this.
Jason, I suspect that defeat was hard to take, having led 2-0 at half-time.
Yeah, it was a real gut sort of give away too many free kicks around the edge of the box, and basically Woking were a big side, and we got punished really.
And coming off the back of 2 big wins as well, they put you sort of in the verge of the playoff zone again, haven't they? And so that was doubly disappointing.
Yeah, it would have been nice to like kept the pressure on up with Exeter and that, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, local rivalry. Now, of course, one of those victories up at Southport. Let's talk about that, because what a fantastic goal. Have you ever done anything like that before?
No, it was my first ever goal in the league. Well, my first ever go full stop.
Yeah, well, in time-honoured tradition, talk us through it. Had you any idea what you would do, or are you just trying to lump the ball towards the penalty area?
Well, basically, it was the fourth official had just put the board up for 4 minutes of injury time, and Trevor Challis, I think, knocked it back to me, and basically I thought kick it down as far down the field as I possibly could, and basically it just bounced once. The keeper totally misjudged it, and it was like slow motion. I thought, Christ, it's going in.
Yeah, and you're a Spurs fan, and you've done it on the same day that Paul Robinson did it.
Yeah, it was spooky. That was a bit of a red letter day sort of thing.
Yeah, and I did see all the lads jumping on top of you afterwards as well, and I suspect since then there's been plenty of banter in the dressing room about what you did there.
I've had plenty of stick, because they said they never seen me move so quick, but I did jink past 2 of them and did a little Klinsmann dive.
Now tell us about life at Weymouth, because obviously the club has been in turmoil this season, but you seem to have made a good recovery, and I mean many people expected Weymouth to drop right away from it, but you've sort of kept that challenge up, haven't you?
Yeah, we had a few hard games to start with, but Jason's managed to bring in a few younger lads, and they've done extremely well, to be fair.
And how do you think he's enjoying his first taste of management at a comparatively early age?
I think he's enjoying it. I think he's doing well, to be fair.
Yeah, and the atmosphere in the club, because you say the club now can't afford quite the budget that they had before to bring in there, so you've got to rely on these young players. How do you think they come in and how they adapted to life with Weymouth at that age?
I think the atmosphere is fantastic at the club at the moment, because basically they're getting a chance at a high level of football, and they're making the most of it, to be honest.
Now, of course, brilliant start to the season, which has helped you obviously stay in the conference for next year, but what do you think about the long-term future now? Is it going to be very difficult for Weymouth to sustain conference football on that sort of reduced budget?
It just depends on what sort of takeover is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks, or whether it's going to happen. No one seems to know quite what the future holds at the moment.
Yeah, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that works out well. And a quick word about Tamworth on Saturday. Of course, they sacked their manager a few weeks ago, Mark Cooper, and they seem to have had a little bit of a revival since then. So that's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it'll be the same as Woking on Tuesday night. A little bit of a battle, and if we can win the battle, I'm sure our footballing skills will get us through.
And if you need a last-minute winner, you'll be on hand with that?
Oh, I'd love to think so.
Jason, it's great to see that moment again. Thanks very much for being with us. Thank you.
Well, that's just about it for this week.